All right, man, today we're going to talk about a trade that we executed in my Patreon group. Y'all know your boy been into these charts lately. And so I just want to break something down for y'all, show y'all what I saw, how I saw it, and maybe this can help some people out as well, right? So here is the SPY chart. We're going to get into these candlesticks. We're going to get into what these lines represent. We're going to get into what this channel represent, which is a rising wedge. We're going to get into that. But I know a lot of y'all truly want to get into the technical analysis space. I've really been into it heavy for the last few months, learning the game, adding it to my tool belt so that we can execute better, get better returns, and hopefully we can help you turn your bad days into better days in the market. So before we get into it, man, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, man. Share this out, man, to somebody. But lastly, that's not me in the chat telling you about WhatsApp. That's not me in the chat telling you about Telegram. That's not me in the chat telling you about Bitcoin and crypto. That's not me. Do not be scammed by that, man. Let's get to it, man. We're going to talk about a play we put together. And the play is really, really good. I like how it's turning out so far. We still riding the wave on it, right? So right here, we got on the SPY. This is the S&P 500. If you don't know what the S&P 500 is, it is the biggest 500 companies on the market. So we decided to do was put in a play on the SPY, right? Based on what we saw in the charts. If you're new to investing, each one of these candles represent a 1 day time frame. So each one of these candles represent 1 day. Now, inside of that day, this tells us who won the battle. So each one of these candles represent a fight between buyers and sellers, right? But there's also information inside of the fight, right? So this tells us, let's look at a candle like this per se, right? This candle tells us that it was a lot of pressure on the buyers. So the sellers pushed this down. But at some point, the buyers brung this up. That's why you see that tail or that wick popped up there. But the seller said, nope, we want it here. Right. And so if you look at a candle like this will tell you that like the buyers, the sellers pushed it all the way down here, but then the buyers pushed it back up. Right. And this will tell you where it closed at. This is where it tell you open that. Before we go a little further, man, let me just show it to you right here in real time. So somebody new can understand what a candle is. So this right here is a bullish candle. Right. So this tells us when you see these candles, that tells us that the stock opened up right here and it closed right here. So let's say it opened up at $80 right here, and then it closed at $85 right here. But then you may see these on it. Right, so this means that the sellers probably pushed it all the way down to $78, but the buyers got it back up. And then this may tell us that the buyers pushed it up as high as $90, but the sellers rejected. So that means the price here and the price here were rejected. So it opened at 80 and it closed at 85, but it got high as 90 and it got low as 78. These two price points were rejected. Now, on the other side of that, you'll see something that looked like this. This is a candle. Right? Now, what this means is that the price opened right here. So let's say the price opened at $80 and then the sellers pushed it all the way down to where it closed at $75, right? But you'll also see this and you'll see that. What that mean? That means at some point, the buyers got it up to $82. I'm just using a random price, but it got rejected. And the sellers got it to as low as $70, but that got rejected, right? So the sellers, it opened at 80. The sellers pushed it all the way down to 75, and this is where it closed at, right? So why does they look the same, Trap, but what makes them different? The thing that makes them different is the color, right? So that's what makes them different. Green candles are bullish candles. They open here and they go up there. Red candles are bearish candles. They open here, they pull down there. So you need to understand that when you're looking at a chart, right? One of the other things you want to notice when you're looking at a chart is something like this. So a candle can be like this, and this is more of an indecisive candle, right? It means nobody really won this battle, even though it looks like it, but it's indecision, right? It can be red or green. All right, so now we can get into the chart and I can show you what I see. So in this chart right here, you're going to see two lines. So my blue line right here is a 20-day moving average, and my purple line right here is my 50-day moving average. And what I wanted, when I look at that, that's essentially telling me recent momentum in the market. I always want to see, if I'm bullish, I want to see that my, wherever I'm at on the chart is above my 50-day and above my 20-day, because that's telling me right now that the stock is actually bullish. Now, if where I'm at right now is currently under the 50-day and the 20-day, then that tells me the stock is currently bearish. And if you can see right here, in this area right here, you saw the stock was trading underneath the 50-day and the 20-day. So that tells us that the stock was bearish. Also, you can see maybe right here in this area, you see it traded under the 50-day and the 20-day. So you know that the stock was bearish. So we understand that those are bearish territories, meaning the stock is going on. You can see it just clear right there. So also want you to see that. So right now we see that the SPY has turned into a bullish pattern. Now what I did here was to get this the stock we wanted to get in. Here's some things that I did. Right? So before you can go right, you always got to look left, because left tells you how to move right. Before you get any stock, you always want to look left, because look left tells you how to move right. But the first thing we did was anchor to play. Anchor to play means look exactly where we were. We were right here. Now I'm gonna say something. This is the result of work we did from here. All right, so here's what happened. The first thing we did was we looked here. Actually, we came in about right here. And I told my people, I said, listen, this stock keeps hitting 570. I said, listen, every time the S&P hit 570, it goes back down. So how did I do that? I anchored myself first, right? And then I looked backwards. So I saw right here, 570. And then the stock shot down. But what else did that happen at? So we got it. Before this happened, we saw it happen right here. That's one time. And then we see it touch these 3 times, but got rejected. Now, this is called news inside of the candle, right? We saw that it hit 570 3 times and look, in a 10-day time span, it hit 570 1, 2, 3, 4 times, right? But not to mention another time right here, 11, 13. So out of 13 days, it hit 570 a few times, which means that becomes a key point that tells us a lot. So think about it. It hit it one time right here and shot down. It got back up right here and hit it, shot down. Opened here, went up, shot down. Here, shot. So that tells us that there's a lot of sellers right here defending that block. All right, there's a lot. So that means 570 is a hood, right? 570 is a hood. So you got a lot of people in that hood. I'm going to make it purple. You got a lot of people in this hood defending this block. You got a lot of people in that hood defending that block, right? But then we saw way back here, it hit 570, shot down. Hit it right there. Hit it again, shot down. So 570 became key point of focus. It actually represents as a resistance, meaning every time it hit 570, the market shoot down. Every time it hit 570, so that becomes a resistance point. So that's essential for us. Okay, what we spotted. We just spotted something. We noticed that every time this market hits 570, every time the S&P-Y hits 570, it goes down. It rejects it. So they mean they got them shooters right there at 570. They ain't letting that happen. They keep rejecting it. So when they hit it here and reject it, I went to my team and I said, hey, y'all, listen. I said, if the S&P can break 570, we need to see it at least hit 572, 573, something like that to get up out of there. So then what I did was I said, okay, let me draw this wedge. So I went from the swing low all the way up. Now, at the time, it was here, but we came all the way to the high, which was the day I'm shooting this. So we draw this line. Now, this becomes a rising wedge, right? So now all of my traders know that this is actually a bearish setup. Why is this bearish? Because you have higher lows happening, right? You have higher lows happening, but then you see it starts to get really, really tight right here. This is a really tight range right here. And then as the channel gets like this, it's squeezing. So what we need to see right here is we need to see it pop out of this range, or if not, it'll squeeze up under there. Come on, I hope we're making sense right here. All right, what we need to see happen here, we need to see the stock price pop out of this range, explode through it, or it's going to hit it. If it falls through it, then we got to come down. So here's we got to ask ourselves, trap. If it falls out of the wedge, where do we see some type of support at under the wedge? And we saw another part of support at about 553. If it pops out of there once, see it twice, we see it here. Now watch this. I'm going to show you something that's real good. We can actually come over and see at 553, we see it here too. About hit 553, it went up. So here, 553 here, hit 553, and we went off. Actually, 553 is where it started taking off at on this uptrend, right? So now we can say, hey, 553 is a key level for us. Come on, y'all. We just reading what the chart tells us. Now, there's a lot of stuff inside of that we can deal with, but we just want to read what the chart tells us. So far, here's what we know. We know that 570 is a number that it's a hood where they set up shop at that we got to get above. We also know that we see that they're in this type of wedge. So now we understand that if we need to break out of this wedge, or it's going to break through this wedge, because this represents a reversal pattern. All right, so here's what I told my team. I say, listen, y'all, if it bounces off 570, we want to see how far it go down, right? Which was, we thought it can go down. I thought it can go down to at least from 570, it can go down to at least 560 or 553, which was key support, right? I said, but on top of 570, watch this. On top of 570, we see 585 to 590 is where we'll see more resistance. How do we know that? We go up to about 585, which is about right here. And what do we see? Watch this. We come all the way across. We're going to come right here to this candle right here. What do we see? 585. Right here. We come across it. Right here. We come across it. Right here. It's a little bit up, and then we come across it here. So we say, okay, if it hits 585, that's another form of resistance. Okay, cool. We know that. So we said we can break 570. Our next point of resistance is going to be 585. All right, so now what I'm doing is mapping out where my resistance points at, because that's going to give me an idea where I want to strike at, right? So the next one from there is we go to 590, which is here. And guess what we see at 590? Right here, we see what? Right here, we see wicks hitting, right? We see another one right here, right? So, okay, 590, and then we come across, but look, when we get up here, what do we see? We see a lick right here at 596. Okay, trap. Okay, trap. So now what we've done is we've anchored where we can hit at. We know if this stock breaks through 570, it'll fall down, find some type of support here. We needed to break through 570. So what I did was I said, hey, y'all, if it breaks 570, we'll go with a 585 strike price. Why 585, trap? Because that's where we'll see the next level of resistance at. And if it hits 585, it's a good chance that now 570 becomes what? The support, right? Because support will turn to resistance. So we get in, if it breaks 570, we'll get in the 585 play, and then 570 would then be our new resistance. We okay with that. So we put the play in. We made a 583 call. Here's what happened. We got up Monday morning. It gapped up, which means it had some news came out. So it gapped up to 582. It gapped up to 582. We let it come down to about 579-ish. At 579-ish, it was above our call. We put the play in for 583. At 583, let me see something right quick. As of right now, let's just look at the play. As of right now, you can go look at it. We got the play is now up $2,700. Great call. $2,700 on a call. Just like that. And that's how the chart been working out for us, y'all. So now our next price is, we broke through the 5. Let me see something right quick. Did it break through the 585? All right. Did it break through the 585? Boom, 583. 583 right now. So our next fight gonna be at 585. We'll see what that does for us at 585. And we'll see how I go, y'all. We'll see how I go, y'all. 585, we'll see how I go. Our next price from 585, we want to see 596 is what we want to see. So we can pop from 585 to 596, man. That'll be good. But now right here, what I noticed from my thing, so you see this right here, this is a supply zone. If we can pop up from here, if we can pop through that, then we can get to about 600 to 610. That'll be a new supply zone for us. Why? Because right here, we see this long bearish candle. Right before that, we had some indecision. That becomes a supply zone because that started that little downtrend right there. So this would be our next supply zone, meaning our money waiting up here for us. Or we can bring it up a little bit and come here to this candle right here, because that may be a little far off. Right. We can just start off this zone right here, and we can bring this zone out right here, top of that wick to here, which will still put us in the same range, right? That tells us that they're gonna have some orders right there to shoot it down. So what I'll probably do is, if it gets to this zone right here, I'll probably put some puts in at 610. If this rise, I'll put some puts in right here and see where it falls back down to, and then I'll see how that goes. So, man, I hope that you all got some understanding out of this video. Just showing y'all what we doing in this video, showing y'all how this video went, showing y'all how we played this video. With that being said, man, I love y'all. Listen, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Let us know if you want. Y'all know we put the meta play in, that one up from that. If you go look back at a previous video we put in, I think last week, and that play as of right now is, we put a couple plays in, the meta play and a QQQ play. So the QQQ play from the chart is up 63%, $33,000. And the meta play from the chart is up $66,000 at 50%. So we just rocking out right now, man. Let's go. Trap on the charts. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, if you want to see more content like this, let me know if I broke it down easy for y'all to understand, because I'm real confident in what I see. And my goal is to break it down on the chart so you all can see it how I see it. Listen, I'm not out here trying to say like I'm the best charter in the world. Y'all know your boy been on it for the last like 2 months, really, really heavy. As of right now, we are 7 out of 8 on our last charted plays. 7 out of 8 on our last charted plays. So we really been rocking out. We've really been taking a lot. We've been taking a lot of time to really pour into y'all on this as we just bring more dynamics to it. But this is it, man. Instead of just having it on a computer, I like to put it on the board so y'all can see how my chart look in total. And I like to like circle and write so y'all can see it. So it's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper, man. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Listen, if you want to join the Patreon group, is where you see all of my plays. Click the link down here somewhere. Come join the Patreon, man. It's a vibe. We call ourselves wild dogs because we be chasing this market. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you join that Patreon. Or if you just want to learn fundamental investing, go ahead on and join Trappers Anonymous, man. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share this link, man. I love y'all. I'm out.